and start the recording. All right. Win, please.
All right, sweet. So for our agenda today, am I still sharing my screen or did that pop off?
Yes, you're
Oh,
still
okay.
sharing. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
For our agenda today, we have trashy updates. We'll go around, talk about what everybody's up to these days. We're going to talk about the trash monitoring work group, the new director, and the Lancet process that Tom Novotny mentioned. So maybe I don't know. Let's see who wants to start. Anybody itching?
Win, can you please just increase magnification? It's the 100%. Can you change that to 150? Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
I'll go really quick. It's a real good morning, everyone. Good to see everyone.
Morning, Jana.
Jana with Michael Baker International. I don't have any particular trashy updates other than Casca conference was great. A little bit more this year on fire response. So that was interesting. But yeah, if anyone is interested in going to future ones, it's a great way to just see what's going on with stormwater and just see all the faces in the industry there. So yeah, highly encouraged. Next year is going to be in Sacramento for any of you in that area. And then I think after that, I'll come back down to Southern California in Palm Springs area. So yeah, great conference.
Thank you, Jana. I'll go ahead and jump in because I can share an update on the Casca conference. So I'm proud to announce that SFEI was part of a team that won a Casca award this year. Apparently, they give out the awards to anybody who asks. So this was for something called the Regional Alternative Compliance model for the city of San Pablo and Contra Costa County. It's a way to try to ensure that the best environmental outcomes are achieved for urban greening. So a way to do some trading to target the places most in need of urban greening. So that Regional Alternative Compliance, or RAC system, won that award. So we're very proud of that. And we sent someone down, Lorenzo Flores, to represent SFEI during the ceremony.
That's so awesome, Tony. I didn't even realize that SFE. I must have missed that, but congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. It's not often we win awards for software, so that was pretty cool. I'll just add really quickly to my trashy update that we're coming around the bend on the plastics monitoring strategy for the state of California. This is a strategy sponsored funded by the California Ocean Protection Council, the OPC, in close coordination with the State Water Board. So I bring it up, I've mentioned it before, but we're approaching the point of implementation of this strategy. So there's both a strategy and a plan. Shelley Moore contributed a lot of her time, thoughts, creativity to this effort. I want to make sure that Shelley is acknowledged in this. And we're entering a phase of implementation where the Water Board will be putting structures into place to facilitate both macro and microplastics monitoring, at least at a pilot, as a pilot. So very underfunded at this point. The strategy has a big imagination, but not a lot of funding as of yet. Yes, there are potential funding strategies in the works, but right now there's not like a deluge of funding available. I think when we first started this project, there was a lot more optimism about funding opportunities and less so now. But there's still some budget that we have at our discretion to turn towards the implementation of a pilot. So if you are interested in learning more about how to contribute to a statewide plastics monitoring program, so we're not talking about trash in general, but plastics specifically, which is inclusive of a lot of what we care most about, including tobacco product waste and other, packaging materials, food, beverage, etc., then please reach out. Let me know. I'm part of a broader team, but I can put you in touch with the team and ensure that you're on the docket for communication during the implementation of this pilot effort. I will go ahead and I really want to hear from Gary. Welcome back, Gary. Welcome back into the trashy world.
Hey, thanks for the welcome back. Sorry, I'm having trouble getting my camera working.
It was
asleep.
working earlier. We saw you, but you couldn't hear us.
Exactly.
But anyway, we remember what you look like, and you can
good.
go ahead and provide an update if you have one.
Yeah, I'm still actually, so like you said, Tony, I'm just rejoining the trashy world here. Apparently, Zoom doesn't quite want me in the world yet, but I'll work on that. So I'm just a personal update. I'm now at Balance Hydrologics. I'm still sort of getting myself oriented, so I don't have many trashy updates for you all, but we are involved in some work in San Mateo County, trying to measure trash loading from watersheds. And as storms are approaching this winter, it's about to start getting exciting for trying to figure out exactly how we're going to be measuring trash in receiving waters. There's been efforts on this front. You folks may be aware. I mean, it's been some years now since this was tried. There was EOA and 5Gyres back in 2015 tried to measure this type of loading. And so we're part of a broader team having a second go at trying to verify exactly what's coming out of these drainages, both ones that have been verified kind of in that low trash condition, right, per the field protocol, and also ones that have full capture devices implemented. So I'll check in with the team and hopefully have an update for you all down the road.
Yeah, in particular, I'd be really interested in hearing if you're continuing to coordinate with the EOA-led effort. There's one underway right now tied to looking at drainages that are served by trash capture or their equivalent. And I think San Mateo is among the different participants in that study. I don't know if that's what you're part of at this point.
This is part of that effort. Yes.
Part of that effort. Okay, great.
Yeah, we're part of the team.
Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. And so, Gary, if you could share with us what your position is now at Balance Hydrologics, now that you've made that move there.
Yeah, so I'm a senior hydrologist here now. So a lot of my work has to do with water resources and water pollution modeling. Still working on some data systems stuff. That's a lot of what I was doing in my previous position, was building data systems, including ones to try to quantify trash accumulation and progress over time. And here at Balance now, there's a big interest in sort of bring some of our skill set to work more in the stormwater world. So that's part of my job is connecting with all of you folks as we try to find our place more securely in that world. And trash is a big part of that these days. I was sorry to miss Casca this year. I was still getting my feet underneath me after getting back from the wilderness. some time off riding a bike and walking on a trail this year. But it sounds like Casca was great, and I'll hope to see you all there next year.
Yeah, it's good to have you back, Gary, but I'm so glad that you were able to take some time and get in touch with the natural world that we all care so much about.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Great to be back with you all again.
Awesome. So we've heard from Jana. Hannah, welcome back to this data management work group. Would you like to provide a trashy update?
Yeah, sure. Hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Hannah. I'm a fourth year, actually now, PhD student in the Gray Lab at UCR, Lynn's alma mater. I don't have much in the way of trashy updates. I've been very much living in the world of tire wear right now. So I was at Wageningen University this spring, so I spent 3 months there. doing a fellowship and doing some experimental work looking at tire wear mobilization rates from impervious surfaces due to rainfall. And then currently right now I have a field monitoring project where I'm looking at concentration depth profiles of tire wear particles in the Los Angeles River. So yeah, not a ton of trash updates, but that's what I've been up to.
Well,
Find trash.
yeah, that's very much in our world. The tire wear is a major part of the profile of things that we look at. So please keep up the good work, and we would be keenly interested in the results from your work. So please, if you even would like to share something more formally, a presentation, a quick, like 5-10 minute thing. Yeah, I don't mean to put pressure on you, but that kind of like tire wear focused work would be, I think it's a really important topic for many of us. So we would be keenly interested.
Yeah, I would be
Yeah,
happy to set that.
that makes me think, Tony, I know you all do like kind of presentations at SFEI, and I know this is a project that you all have been doing a lot of stuff in the tire wear space too. So
Yes.
maybe one of your future presentations Hannah could participate in. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, I don't know how familiar you are, Hannah, with the work led by Diana Lynn and Becky Sutton
Mm-hmm.
and others, Chelsea Rockman on doing some of that quantification of tire wear coming into the San Francisco Bay. But it seems like you're further extending a lot of that good work. So
Yeah, I think I definitely touched base with the SFEI folks a while ago, but it would be great to catch up with everyone.
awesome.
Thanks.
All right. So, Julian, we'll hear from you. And then I know that Dr. Novotny is itching to provide an update. And Shelley, I see you too.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be back. I missed the one over the summer. I'll just add on that I'm also really interested in the tire wear research and would love to keep that discussion going here on our campus. So I'm at Sacramento State, and some of my students are really interested in this also. And we've had a project in one of my classes for a couple of years that we're looking at some of the ways that we have some demonstration green infrastructure like rain gardens on our campus, and
That's
the
awesome.
way that those can filter different pollutants. And we're right next to the American River also, which is a big, waterway with freeways all around it and whatnot. But so yeah, just looking
Julian,
to track this stuff.
I was about to run out and grab this poster that is about green stormwater infrastructure filtering tire wear particles. It's sitting
Oh,
about
heck yeah.
40 feet in this direction. So yeah, we're very
Will
interested in that too.
Will that poster be at the State of the Estuary conference?
Oh, you know what? I don't think so. This was a poster prepared like about 5 years ago, maybe
Okay.
pre-pandemic.
Okay.
But so it's not representing work that's
Current work.
happening right in the moment.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, I'm also, Tony mentioned the monitoring program, the microplastics monitoring program, and I'm on the technical advisory committee for that. So
Yes.
looking forward to digging into the draft report this week and next. And yeah, updates on our project in the Bay Area, the EPA funded project to use participatory science and community-based monitoring is entering kind of year 2 or water year 2 of monitoring with high school students. And I think we just did really great work last year. And we're kind of hitting the ground running this year. We did get a no-cost extension with Eric Jelensky's help at Region 9 to extend the project into June, so we'll get a full water year's worth of data. We're presenting at the SF Estuary Conference, which is why I asked you that, Tony.
That's awesome.
Coming up at the end of October. High school students will be designing and presenting that poster, and really proud of the work that they've done that has really supported some of the key permittees that need data in the Bay Area to comply with their permit. So the ones we work with did not meet the June 2025 zero trash discharge deadline, and are needing to continue to collect data to show their continued efforts and towards compliance. So it's an interesting time, but we're really showing the value of community science, and hope to keep that going. So beyond this project, I'm already thinking about next year and kind of business models to keep community science going. And, we can't rely on grants forever. So thinking about, I'm working with the EPIC network, if any of you are familiar with them, that helps groups like ours working with local municipal governments to sustain those relationships over the long term. So thinking about sort of maybe a fee for service model with cities, it's much cheaper than consultants, but maybe looking at foundations, looking at different ways to fund this work. But of course, as you mentioned, Tony, the funding space is pretty challenging these days, and might need to get creative.
Yeah. Well, Julian, look for me at the conference. I'll be there.
Awesome.
So I'll probably be tethered to a table, sharing some stuff, but it'll be great to see you.
Me too. Looks like it'll be a fun one.
Yep. Shelley, do you have any trashy updates? Not required, but optional.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots going on right now. I guess the major thing to announce is that I will be stepping down as executive director for the Moore Institute, effective at the first of the year. I will still be around. My hope is to be able to work part-time with the Moore Institute, and it's mostly my goal is mostly to slow down just a little bit and certainly to do less administrative stuff. And go back to what I love doing, which is the research and writing and that kind of stuff. So if you know anybody who wants to apply for the executive director position, it's open right now. You can access it through our website, and I encourage anybody who wants to apply to do so. And that is it for me.
Thank you, Shelley. And, I think we all wish you the best in whatever comes your way as you're heading into this new mode of working.
Thank you.
Let's see. So should we shift to Dr. Novotny's Lancet related update?
Yeah, and I there's a couple other updates I can provide along the way as well. And and Shelley, good luck with backing away. I'm not a good example of that, so don't look to me as an advisor on that. A couple of things, and I put a couple of pieces into the links into the chat. The first one is about the Lancet thing, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But this is an international activity going on as an invitation for to provide monitoring indicators on plastics, and this grows out of a group that was in the negotiations for the plastics treaty. And I don't know if you guys have been following that, but this was something that started up with the United Nations Environmental Program 2022 and went through a series of 6 negotiating sessions and didn't come up with a treaty document that could be agreed upon, mostly as a result of the petroleum producing countries' resistance to anything that had any semblance of reduction of source and production of plastics. So I guess it still would be considered in limbo, but this is a separate, not sponsored by UNEA or any others. There's the Minderoo Foundation has provided money, but it's an extensive group of committed folks that want to get some science to really monitor the plastics issue. And there's 4 working groups. One is on production and emissions, one is on exposures, another one is on health impacts, and the fourth is on interventions and engagement. And they're looking for monitoring initiatives, and the website there is looking for invitations to present a proposal for those. That would be due in January as a sort of preliminary. And then this is going to go on continually to refine and improve. And it seems like it's something that would benefit from the work that's been done here by the Estuary Institute and the monitoring group that is now producing this strategy that I've also been involved with as well. So that's sort of it in a nutshell, but I think it's an important thing to just take a look at.
Really important.
Yeah, and see how California could play a role in this, because I do think that people around the world look to California for environmental sort of consciousness. The second thing that I put in there is a report that I was senior author on to the WHO, and perhaps you folks know about the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, which is the treaty, an international treaty. The U.S. is not a party to it, and now the U.S. is not even a party to the WHO. But
Yeah.
the treaty continues to go. There's 180 signatories, and they're considering now the environmental aspects of tobacco, which is obviously something that I've been working on with our concern for filters and the plastics involved in those. And in November, the Conference of the Parties are going to consider one of the articles of the convention that will call for that as implementation will call for the ban the sale of filtered cigarettes and the plastic filter in particular. So it's got potential for significant international efforts. Again, the U.S. is not going to be subject to the treaty's requirements, but a lot of other places will be. It'll come into resistance, I'm sure, from all sorts of angles, but the tobacco industry a little less able to resist on this one because of their deceptions and the issues on it. And then one other trashy update, and Shelley Moore and I have had some interaction on this already, but there's a lawsuit that's being carried out in Baltimore against the tobacco industries regarding the pollution of cigarette butt waste, and especially in the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. And the interesting thing about this is that they've got some really good data. There's something called Mr. Trash Wheel, and there's actually four trash wheels they have been able to get specific data on cigarette butt waste that's collected by the trash wheel. And every month, all of the trash wheel contents is sampled, and they've got basically a surveillance system, which has provided the lawyers with enough ammunition that they've started a lawsuit with the city, being also, represented by some private public interest firms, to claim damages for the costs of this, but also defective product, failure to warn about plastics in the product, and potentially damages as a result of that, punitive damages, and the main piece being public nuisance. And that's something that we helped with in terms of an article in the Tulane Environmental Health Journal that really called out tobacco product waste as a public nuisance. So anyway, there's some stuff going on there. Shelley may be involved in this as an expert, and they're collecting now a group of experts to support this. Hopkins has joined in on the fight, as well as a bunch of other colleagues and friends from other aspects of this. So that's happening. And the lawyers from one of the firms are going to be in San Francisco at an event that's sponsored by the Surf Riders, and is the city attorney is going to be attending on October 25th, and it's a screening of the movie The Cigarette Surfboard. And this is a documentary that's all about cigarette butts on the beach, and it's a really quite a well done movie. It's been in a lot of film festivals around the country, and it'll be shown in San Francisco. I can get the details on that, but it's one of the lawyers will be there on the panel to respond to the movie, along with the city attorney and I think elected state senator from the Bay Area. and it'll be an interesting thing if anybody wants to see that. I'll try to get the link on it. So any questions about the Lancet thing, at least? It may be worthwhile to take a
Yeah.
look at this and think about maybe submitting a proposal for monitoring.
Do these proposals, like if you are successful in the proposal, they come with financial support to actually conduct the project, or is it more of
No,
a,
no, it's
okay,
mostly proposing it and hoping that there will be financing that shows up. But these things
I
will be
see.
published in Lancet, which is one of the most prestigious scientific journals in the world, and independent of any funding, in terms of the idea, but it could be then attractive to organizations that might have the funds to support the monitoring proposal.
Got it. I see. Okay, thanks.
So we still have a little bit of time before the January deadline. So I think we might strategize if we want to coordinate on any sort of submission. It sounds like there could be an opportunity to do that. I love the idea of coordinating some submission here. So maybe we can all take a look at it and keeping the lines of communication open to share ideas. That's one thing. Dr. Novotny, I had a question about your updates. Apart from this, I wanted to know about with the international treaty. You talked about the tobacco industry kind of lining up against it, of course, but are there any signatories of nations that were surprising to you because they have a high number of smokers or they are kind of awash with tobacco money? Were there countries, Thailand or China or something where smoking is extremely common that kind of surprised you in becoming a signatory?
A few, European countries, like Poland, for instance, they're pretty heavy smokers.
Yeah.
China is not really in on it. Indonesia is not in on it. So some of these we know are not going to be participating. Argentina is not in on it. Brazil is definitely in on it. Still a very high number of smokers and a big producer, but they are one of the leaders in terms of the international cooperation on this. And they've got a very
Wow.
active environmental group as well. And so, yeah, they are probably the biggest surprise. And the UK is very much a strong leader. The EU is very, and again, there's 28 countries in the EU, very strongly supportive of the treaty, and also doing its share of multinational cooperation with respect to their directives. They have both a tobacco directive and a plastics directive, and they have put single-use plastics as a defined single-use plastic that would be discouraged through their plastics directive. In other words, the plastic directive would encourage all the countries to ban the sale of filtered cigarettes. And that's probably going to happen next year in 2026. And so all of the European countries where there's heavy smokers, France, et cetera, are definitely a part of that action.
And another question I have, which may be related to this, is in the past, you've talked about the potential development of biodegradable filters, and you were very squarely, this is the wrong way to go.
Right.
This is not what we would support. And this sort of ban on single-use plastics can kind of go in multiple directions, with the butts being that part of that.
Right.
People could develop reusable filters. People could develop biodegradable filters. What are you seeing as far as the response?
There will be a response, and of course, I think you all realize now that Santa Cruz actually was the first jurisdiction in the world to ban the sale of filtered cigarettes, and there's lots of resistance from the small businessmen, and so they're giving it time before it's implemented, a year from January, to give some time to deal with the concerns of small businesses, and there will be responses like pocket filters that you put on your filtered cigarette. But no matter what, any kind of filter, first of all, is a fraud in terms of its health benefits. So putting a filter back on a cigarette of whatever nature it is something we're against because there's evidence to show that it really hasn't done any good and may be
Yeah,
harmful. But
you
what
breathe more deeply, it goes deeper into your
right.
lungs, causes all
And
kinds.
it somehow reassures smokers that they're doing something to protect their health, and it isn't. And
Right.
so the biodegradable filter is not a solution. And even though there are some techie companies that have tried to come up with some ideas that might be attractive to people, but the important message is no filter protects people from the hazards of smoking. The plastic filter adds to it the concern for microplastics in the environment. And it's something we can do without because it's a non-essential single-use plastic, just as defined by the EU.
Right. I think it's also important for us in the trash monitoring world to bear in mind the changing signal of the use of these products. So, what I mean by that is that Shelley, I've told this story many times in the past, but how we didn't recognize some of the e-cigarettes that were in the waste stream.
Yeah.
All those little what look like little USB sticks. We're like, why are there so many USB sticks hanging out in this one part of the creek? It turns out there were kids, doing their e-cigs there. So I think that
Well,
as innovation happens, we need to stay on top of the plastic waste stream that as it
and
changes.
one of those that I want to point out too, that the market for is just expanding like crazy, is nicotine. That is synthetic nicotine pouches, Zyn being the best example.
Yeah.
And these are now appearing, in the waste stream. The pouches are made of cellulose, which is a bit less problematic than cellulose acetate, but the nicotine is the toxic hazardous waste product.
Mhm.
And it gets into the waste stream, and it is something that we're measuring in water systems, aquatic environments, and it's something that's going to be a part of the lawsuit against the tobacco industry as well.
Great. Well, thank you for these updates. Do others have questions about the Lancet update or any other of Dr. Novotny's great updates as usual? Well, let's keep this on the agenda. I would love in particular to hear any news about the advancement of that lawsuit. I assume that this is a civil lawsuit. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, they had one consideration for criminality based on littering, but the judge in the last go round excluded that one because it's people who litter and it wasn't the industry who was littering. But nevertheless, they failed to warn about the littering, and so there's that part of it, which is not criminal, but it's civil.
Okay.
Thank you. The one thing I want to make sure we save enough time for is talking about the conversation Shelley and Tony had with the new director. See how that went and what y'all are thinking about the next phase for the trash monitoring work group.
Yeah, thank you, Wynn. I guess, Shelley, do you want to talk about Lori Weber's role and anything?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So and it was Scott and I on the meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Tony was there.
I had a
Sorry,
separate conversation, so I was
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
My streams got crossed.
So Scott and I met with Lori Weber. Most of the conversation was around the website. Wynn noticed a while back that the trash monitoring work group and any of the subcommittees under that did not have a presence on the new improved state website. And so we brought that up. She was under the impression that none of the trash monitoring work group subcommittees or even the main committee were meeting anymore. And yes, it's been a while since the trash monitoring work group has met, but I informed her that the subcommittees, some of the subcommittees were still meeting, such as the microplastics subcommittee and the data management subcommittee as well. And she doesn't know how the website did not, or why the website did not reflect any of the current goings on, or even the any of the groups. And she said she'd be happy to help us get our information back up there. So if she doesn't seem to have any of the old files. I know that Wynn has worked on the website in the past, and so we're going to be digging up some stuff and sending it to her, so she can get our presence back up on there. And my plan is to I let her know my plan is to have a meeting of the trash monitoring work group to discuss um, current subcommittees and current happenings in the trash world, and that will be happening in the next few months. And we can revisit whether or not we want to create any new subcommittees, or whether or not the current subcommittees are still willing to or still want to stay in existence. So that was the gist of the conversation. It was really mostly around the website and getting our presence back up there. And one thing I did bring up to her, I've had conversations with some different people, including Wynn, that the comment has been that there is a lack of state water board presence on some of the subcommittee and committee meetings. And so I requested that when we have our meetings, that we have somebody from the State Water Board present who can answer questions about what we're talking about and how it would affect policy, and actually give us some input about what would be useful to the State Water Board. So she said she would do her best to make sure that people relative to the topics were in attendance at our meetings, and I will certainly continue to remind her about that. So if she's not showing up, she's going to send another State Water Board member to attend our meetings. So that's it for the update.
That sounds great, Shelley. Do you think at the very least we could just extend the invitation to this very meeting to Lori, just so she's aware that it's happening? It's understandable that she wouldn't know about it since she's not on the invite currently. And I think Nick Martorano was in the past very aware of this meeting because he was invited. We haven't made that determination and extended it to Lori. So
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. I think she'd really appreciate that. She was surprised to know that you guys were still meeting, and I had shared some of the running notes with her that indicated that you guys had still been meeting. So yes, we should add her to the invite list for this group, certainly.
That's great. And Shelley, you also included, well, first of all, do people have questions for Shelley about Lori Weber, who became the director of the Water Quality Monitoring Council, the kind of highest level of this kind of nested set of work groups in August. So the vacancy that Nick Martorano left behind was a significant period of time before Lori stepped in. Do you have any question about Lori and Lori's role? If not, Gary?
I was wondering, oh, sorry. I was wondering, who do we send the videos to right now? How are they getting up onto YouTube?
Yeah, go ahead.
We specifically talked about that, and they would go to her. She can take care of that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess then we'll maybe Tony and I can get in touch with her and also invite her to the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks, Shelley, for leading that engagement. Just given that the regulatory environment we're in is like such a driver of everything that cities are doing for trash, I think it's really important to have state board folks engaged in what we're talking about. So thanks for that. That's great.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Tony, did you have you said you had a separate conversation with her?
Yeah, it was very similar to what you did. I was just reminding her that we do meet. I don't know if I met with her before or after you did, but yeah, she was pleased to hear that we still remain active, kind of under the water maybe, but we're still meeting. You put a link, Shelley, to an article about trash in Oakland. Is there something you wanted? Was that relevant to Dr. Novotny's updates, or was there something you wanted to say?
No, it was just something that came across through my email. I get the New York Times, and and I thought it was relevant. I thought the pictures were pretty astounding. And
Yeah.
as they're looking to find solutions, I know it's you know, in your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
And I just posted it because it was relevant, I think, to this group, as far as current news goes.
Right. Yeah, I think it is relevant. And I can say just from my own personal experience in driving over to Oakland, I mean, it really is a standout for trash dumping. And there are a combination of factors that make it so. But I think one of the key differences is that people report from different neighborhoods is that people target Oakland for dumping specifically. So people outside, the reason why it's just outsized as far as the load of trash is that people are bringing their trash, their dumping to Oakland and kind of finding these vacant spots and actually dumping there deliberately. So this is not just a problem of the unhoused. This is actually like people taking their waste and leaving it there.
Mm.
Yeah, we work closely with this neighborhood called the DAG, and short for it's the name of the very first president of the leader of the UN back in the 40s. The DAG is this cute little neighborhood of well-kept houses punctuated by these like dumping grounds where people from outside come by and just kind of dump their loads. And so it's a never-ending battle to try to beat back that tide. But that's it. And when we've tried to get attention from the city to this neighborhood, they will sometimes respond, well, it's not the worst. You know, as you know, we have problems all over the place, and we can't really prioritize that neighborhood over others. So
Mm.
yeah, it is a very big challenge, and it's a standout among different cities around the Bay Area. This is not the norm for Bay Area cities. Erica.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. So do they know that just because they're seeing strangers come in or like looking at if people are dumping mail or packages?
Oh, about the outsiders having
Yeah, yeah.
influence. It's that they see the vehicles come and dump, and they don't, they don't have authority. The neighbors don't have authority to stop them,
Agree.
but
Yeah.
they see it
Okay.
happening. Like it's cleaned up, and then all of a sudden the next day there's like a bunch of garbage piled up
Yeah.
in their neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. Wow.
Yeah. So it's it is a bit of a major wave, a trend that is having a real negative influence on the city streets. And
There
as you can see
is,
here, like parks and things like that too.
yeah, there is one of the supervisors, Nate Smiley, started a statewide, I'll call it a forum. And I think it's started now, it's annual. I think their meeting, is it in the spring or later this fall? I can't remember. I remember seeing the notice, but that would be an unfortunate and interesting case study to share. I haven't been able to attend in a while.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Does that ring a bell to
No,
folks?
no,
No?
not for
Okay, I
me, but
will.
yeah.
It's like it's an Alameda County supervisor who started this, and maybe a staff person. I'll look through my email and see if I can find it, and I'll share it. I don't know kind of what results have come, or if it's just like getting people to talk and focus on trash for 2 days. And it started during COVID. It was online, and now I believe it's hybrid. So I'll go look now, see if I can find it.
That'd be great. Yeah, and if you find it after the meeting, that's fine. We can circulate any kind of information asynchronously as well. All right, we're coming up on the last few minutes of the meeting. This has been a great opportunity for sharing different updates. Just want to recognize Erica from US EPA, who was just talking. Erica, as you may be familiar, we have a process of going around the room and sharing any updates that might be relevant to trash monitoring, and other related things. Do you have any updates from your world to share?
No, I wish I did. I mean, our projects that we're funding that you, Tony, are involved in, and then I think I saw Julian, you know, those are going, and that's great. But our trash-free office, our trash-free waters office at headquarters, maybe you remember Ramel Nandy, he retired
Oh, Ramel,
earlier this year. Yeah.
okay.
And we have one person there. So funding for that program, there wasn't a lot to begin with, and it looks like there's even less. So I think some of the products they've developed over the past couple of years, there was I'm going to call it a trash map that I think you all knew about, because I remember, I think the last call I was on over a year ago, it came up and you had talked about maybe having Ramel talk about it.
Yes.
I don't know that there's more money to do something more detailed. I don't think it's super useful for the Bay, like for California, because we have better data because of all of you. But so no new updates. But maybe at a future meeting I will, and I'll go look for that forum that I just mentioned and see if I can share that during the meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, Erica, those updates are not surprising, but it is still good to know about the shrinkage, which we're all very aware of. But we're pleased that you're able to participate today in today's meeting. It's also a good reminder of the subject we did cover a year ago, and I do have a recollection of, I think Gary shared a comparison of that map that you talked about, locally framed on the Central Coast with some of the work that Second Nature had done, where Gary worked at the time, to confirm some of the findings of that nationwide map. So that maybe I'm misremembering the exact sequence of things, but that's we're glad to see you're back, and it's good to be reminded of that resource.
Okay, thanks, Tony. And that's interesting. I hadn't heard that Gary had done that, but that's good to know. And there were sites in the Bay Area, and I had questions about those. But I think we have really good, more localized resources, at least for the San Francisco Bay Area. But okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Erica, that map was great, and Tony's right. We just looked at some areas where we did have really good on the ground trash data. If you kind of stood back and fuzzed your eyes, like there was, decent level of correspondence between that predictive map and what the data was measuring. So that was really neat to see, and a cool application of that tool that you all produced.
All right. Well, Erica, just a reminder that we do have our notes here. I know that you were unable to join for the beginning, and your name actually came up in the course of Julian's updates. He talked about how the no-cost extension that you were able to achieve to help him produce better outcomes for his project. So it would be great for you to look over these notes at your convenience. We also have a recording, which will be posted publicly on the Water Quality Monitoring Council site that covers all of these updates as well. There was a lot of pent-up activity that people have shared. So we welcome you to review if you're interested in hearing kind of what's happening in all of our respective territories. All right. Any other topics to cover?
Quick one from me. I'm expecting a kid in December, so next time maybe I'll have a baby with me.
Wow! Congratulations, Win.
Congratulations, Win.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, I can't wait to share them with everybody. I
was just remembering I raised a kid with you all on these meetings back in the pandemic, so we can do it together. We'll help.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm gonna need lots of advice. So
well, talk about extended producer responsibility. You really there are a number of things you need to think about. Just as a parent,
the parent is the producer.
Yeah, apparently you do. I've learned that you need to still take responsibility beyond the original production. So
Oh man, dang. Really? Oh, it's gonna be a lot of work? Okay. I'm
Yeah.
up for the job. All right.
You know, this meeting's been going for a while when people are raising their children through the tenure of the meeting series.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
mine
Yeah.
is 2.5.
Wow. Yeah, this meeting is older than most of the children. Yeah, I was looking back, it's like 2019, July of 2019. So we're over 6 years at this point, I think,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
raising a
old and
dog.
strong.
Still counts
That
too.
counts. That counts.
Counts for babies.
Are we still working on the original document, Win, over the course
Yeah, I
of
think
this?
so. It's a
Okay,
good
so
document.
Oh.
this has lasted quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So congratulations. We still have a lot more to do, more ways to go.
Yeah.
So we're so glad that so many of you have stuck with us all these years. There's a lot to celebrate as far as accomplishments go, but I really want to flag and highlight the Lancet opportunity. So don't forget to circle back to that. You have the notes in your calendar invite, so you have the link to that Lancet that Lancet submission. I think if you do come up with an idea, I would say please ask yourself if this is a very good coordination opportunity. I would say you're welcome to submit on your own, but if you want to coordinate a broader kind of effort across our different groups, please think of that and feel free to reach out, communicate with this group directly or through either Win or me, and we can help to coordinate such a submission. So we're not trying to, say you have to coordinate, but if you want to, please consider it. And you can also talk to Dr. Novotny, who of course is leading that.
Win, I wanted to thank you again. That one of the links there to that WHO article has your graphic in it that you gave me permission to use, and you're cited. So
Oh, sweet. Thank you. Appreciate that.
anyway,
All
nice
right.
to see everybody. Let's keep
Yeah.
it up.
Thank you all very much. We'll
Good to
see you
see
later.
you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Take care.